Bottoms Down Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us. Today is day 4 of our 30-day Reset and Renew series. We're going to practice our poses in a more mindful state of mind. This class was originally created in 2021. We've improved the production quality of our videos since then. Let's experience our chair yoga practice as a community together. Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down, Chair Yoga for Everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. Check out the sections on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage. Makes it easier to find classes by length, or by purpose, or by body area. And if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget it's free, and I'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore familiar poses, but more mindfully. We're going to try to eke out some new sensations from these movements. So you'll need your chair and a block. Now, if you don't have a yoga block, you can substitute a large book, or you can just do the class without it. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall and moving forward in our seat. Now, one thing you can do, since we're using our block today, if you like having that block behind your back, you can use that for support. I personally am going to just have mine under my chair, but just know that that is an option. Let's go ahead and place both feet on the floor. We're going to ground those feet to the earth, so thinking about having all 4 pressure points equally weighted. Each foot is equally weighted on the floor. And the next thing we're going to do is ground our sits bones. So these very pointy bones that we sit on, we're going to be sitting up nice and tall on those bones, and we're going to have them equally weighted on each side, so you're not feeling like you're leaning one way or the other. Let's go ahead and lift our heart. Take your shoulders down out of the ears. Place the hands lightly on the thighs. Close the eyes and just breathe. So we connect to that breath. We feel that natural inhalation and exhalation. And we're going to take that breath down into the belly, into the diaphragm, that yoga breath. As you inhale, we're going to fill the lungs from the bottom up. The belly extends. And as you exhale, you're going to pull the belly button to the spine and push the air up and out of the lungs. Do that a couple of times. We're going to add a little rhythm to that. So we're going to inhale to 4 counts and exhale to 5. It'll be something like this. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. Let's just take our gaze to the right. Bring the gaze center. And we're going to look to the left. And bring that gaze center. Let's do that one more time. See if you can look a little bit farther over that shoulder, but being super gentle, keeping those hips forward. As I said, we're just trying to see if we can find a little different sensation in these movements today. Go ahead and look center. And let's look the other way. And look center. Beautiful. So we're going to do a couple of pelvic tilts. So just take your hip tips. I call these, it's your pelvis right here, right? The kind of pointy bones that we have on each side. And we're going to rock those up towards the shoulders. Let me turn to the side. Maybe you can see me a little bit better. So see, I'm just rocking those hips forward. Now we're going to take those bones and we're going to kind of rock them to our knees. And now it creates a nice sway back, if you will. Let's do that again. Go ahead Rock those hip tips to the shoulders. Now my belly is tight, and then rock those hip tips to the knees. So it's just a little warm up for that spine. Let's do that again, one more time. And hip tips to knees, and release. So now we're coming back kind of to that neutral spine. All right, excellent. We're going to move into a mountain pose. So the first thing we're going to do is bring our hands down by our side, spreading those fingers wide. Now if you have arthritis in your fingers and hands, I wouldn't do this. But if you're good to go, we're going to spread, just give a little stretch to those fingers. Okay, are we ready? Release the finger stretch. Bring those arms to GoHPO. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back. It should feel really, really good. Okay, now we're going to take those hands to the ceiling. Our palms are facing each other, okay? Lengthening, trying to touch the ceiling with our fingers, keeping our sits bones nice and grounded. All right, let's go ahead with your right hand, grab that left wrist, lengthen up, trying to touch the ceiling first, and then we're going to lean. Should feel good. So as you're leaning, you're kind of pulling gently on this wrist and keeping this opposite hip down, okay? So feeling the stretch all the way through. Okay, let's come up, bring those hands down, and we're going to do that full series one more time on the other side. All right, are we ready? Here we go. Mountain pose. Spread those fingers to stretch. Goalpost arms. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you, opening up that chest, feeling that heart open. Getting a nice stretch. Here we go. Extend your mountain, fingertips to the ceiling, palms are facing one another, belly is tight, shoulders are down. All right, let's grab that opposite wrist this time and lean. You know what? I think I'm doing the same side. I am. Grab that opposite wrist, extend and lean. There we go. Now it's the other. See, I knew it immediately. I'm like, oh yeah, I just did that side. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. Feeling that stretch, keeping that opposite hip down. One more breath. Up we go, and bring those hands down. Excellent. Okay, so now with our right hand, we're going to place it on the outside of that left knee. Okay, my hips are going to stay forward. The twist is going to happen right at the rib cage. Opposite hand is going to come back on my chair behind me. Extend the spine long. Now take this shoulder, pull it back, and then turn and look over that shoulder. So we're trying to concentrate on the movement happening at the ribs, all right? So the rib cage is what's initiating the movement. One more breath here and go ahead and face forward. Okay, let's do the other side. So our hips are really strong and I want to help, but we don't want to let the hips help, all right? So we're going to bring this hand to the outside of the knee, opposite hand back, extend through the spine first, bring that shoulder back, and then just, if you'll just turn and look over that shoulder, already just bringing that shoulder back gets that rib cages involved. Make sure your knees are facing forward. We're feeling that nice gentle twist, super gentle here. One more breath and face forward. All right, let's grab a sip of water. Okay, so if you have your block, if you would grab that please and place it between your feet. And if you don't have a block, don't worry about it, it's fine. So I'm going to move a little bit forward in my chair and I'm going to heel, toe my feet wide. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is it's a straddle forward fold and then we're going to add a twist. So the first thing is I'm going to just grab a hold of my thighs, hold on, let my heart fall forward. Keeping the back flat. Feeling the back working, then I'm going to tuck my chin and I'm just going to roll it up nice and slow, okay? Let's do that one more time. Extend through the spine, belly button to spine, let that heart fall forward. Hands are on those thighs, keeping the back flat. We're going to roll it up, okay? So that's really good. Let's go ahead and just bring those feet in and let those legs take a little break. Okay, so the add-on here is we're going to go ahead and do that same thing, but we're going to take our head a little bit lower. So either you're going to put your hands on your block, or you're going to put your hands on your thighs, or your shins, I guess, and hang on there, okay? So here we go. Let's heel toe just a little bit wider. We're going to pull that belly button in. We're going to let that heart fall forward. Now I'm going to place my hands on the block. I'm going to move mine a little bit out and then let that heart fall forward. Okay? Back stays flat. One more breath. Go ahead and roll it up. Okay, so now if you want a little bit more, I'm going to turn from this position of my block to this position of my block, okay? And if you're hanging onto your legs, you're just going to walk your hands down a little bit further. So maybe they were higher on the shins, maybe they're going to go lower. Are we ready? Here we go. Extend the spine long. Keep that back flat. Hands are on thighs to start with. Are we ready? The add-on, here it comes. Place the hands on the block or on your shin. Let your your heart fall a little bit further, keeping again the back is still flat. One more breath, and let's go ahead and roll up. Okay, so that's a great version. Either of those. If you want to do it without the block, you can do it without the block. Your hands are going to go on the floor. All right, are we ready? Extend. Forward we go. Are we ready? Put the hands on the floor maybe. Okay, now from here we're going to add a twist. So I want you to move your right hand underneath your face, and your left arm is going to twist open. You're going to put that hand back and kind of replace the other one, and then twist open the other way. Bring those hands back to the floor, pull your belly in, and you're going to roll up nice and slow. Okay, did that feel okay? We're going to do that just one more time. Remember, if you want to keep the block there, keep the block there. If you want to be hanging on here, so if you're hanging on to your legs, what you're doing is instead of twisting, you can twist if you want to, or you can let that elbow come down, or that shoulder, excuse me, that shoulder come down and up and down and up, okay? So you can do that if you wish. All right, last time. Here we go. Extend through the spine, holding onto those thighs. Let that heart fall forward. Now we're going to reach down and we're going to put our hand on the block. Maybe your hand is on the floor. Your choice. Okay, now we're going to move that left hand right in front of the face. We're going to open up and we're twisting, looking to the right. Bring that hand back down. Replace the hand that's on the block or the floor. Open up and look the other way. Bring that hand down. Pull that belly button to spine. Roll it up. And heel toe those feet back in together. All right, very good. Set your block on the outside of that right leg. Now you're going to take the left leg and you're going to cross it over and you're going to just rest your foot on that block. If you don't have a block, you're just going to be here, okay? But if you have the block, resting that foot on it, sometimes that might feel a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to cross at the wrists. Now, if your left leg is on top, generally you would want the right wrist in front. It's just kind of a balance thing. It's not a big deal. Okay? Now, if you want to, and we're going to come forward. We're going to lean forward. And then we're going to push back up. Okay? Now, if you want a little bit more, you're just going to hug yourself. Same thing. And we're going to let that heart fall forward. And then we're going to lift that heart back up. And let's unravel those arms. Let's unravel the legs and go to the other side. So if you want to have that block there, you're going to cross over and you're going to have that foot resting on that block. Remember, belly tight, crown of the head is long. So now we're going to cross so the right leg is on top, so the left wrist is in front. Extend through the spine. Let that heart fall forward. Seated eagle pose. let's come up. And then let's hug ourselves. So for me, whichever hand was on top previously, you want the other hand on top. Extend and let that heart come forward. Press back up and release. Very good. Okay, so hang on to that block. Just set it here for a moment. We're going to come into a crescent lunge, which we've done before, but I'm going to show you how you can use the block and make it a little bit more out of this crescent lunge. So we're going to take that right knee and open it wide. Actually, just kind of set the block out of your way for right now, and then we'll come to it. So let that knee fall down. So now maybe this is where you have felt like you can go, and you just really can't push that foot back behind you. So one idea is to take the block and just let your shin rest on that block. So that gives you an opportunity to push that foot back just a little bit more, but you feel like you've got that leg supported. So you might give that a try and see what you think. Now if you are able to push that foot back behind you, then you probably are going to want to do that version. I just wanted to give you an option. If this one is not available to you, then you can use that block. Okay, let's release it and let's do that one more time. Lifting that heart up, feeling that quadriceps stretching, hip flexor is stretching. One more breath. Let's go ahead and face forward. Same leg is going to extend out for pyramid pose. Lengthen through the spine, let that heart fall forward. Keeping the back flat. Go ahead and roll up, and we're going to do that one more time. Extend, belly button to spine, let the heart fall forward. And up we go. Okay, so now we're going to do a seated pigeon. And again, I'm going to show you a way to use the block that can help. If ankle to ankle is really what's available to you, and you haven't been able to move to ankle to knee at all, then this could give you an in-between. So you set your block here, and instead of ankle to ankle, you rest your foot on that block. And it just lifts the leg a little bit more, gives you a little bit more stretch into that hip, right? It's just an option. If you want to use it, go for it. If you don't want to, it's a-okay. You can go ahead and come into our traditional pigeon, extend through the spine, and let that heart fall forward. So those hips are getting a good stretch. I feel it. All right, let's go ahead and roll up. So remember, the name of the game is trying to find some new sensation that you haven't felt before. So maybe that means you press gently on that knee. Maybe that means you put your elbow here and your fingers your chin is on those fingers and you press. Right? I don't know. Just play around with it. See if you can find something new and different that you haven't felt before. All right. Let's go ahead and release that, and we're going to go to the other side. Okay. First thing is open up. Feel the inner thigh stretching. Remember, if you want to use that block, you're going to go ahead and let that knee fall down. If you have the extended knee version and that works well for you, go for it. If you don't and you want to try maybe pressing that foot back a little bit, but it's resting on that block, that can give you a new sensation that you haven't normally felt before. Something to try, right? So we're looking over that front knee. Our spine is long, head is extended, heart is lifted. One more breath here. All right, let's go ahead and face forward. We're going to extend that foot out in front of us. We're going to lengthen through the spine and let the heart fall forward. So the back of that leg is what is stretching here. A little hamstring stretch. Let's go ahead and roll it up. Can we do that again? Extend and hinge forward. Pyramid pose. And up we go. All right, we're going to do eagles. So I'm going to set that block on the outside of my left leg. Right leg crosses over, and that foot just rests on that block. Just different, right? Okay, so now we're going to cross. Oops, I got it the wrong way. It doesn't matter. It's really not a big deal. All right, extend and let that heart fall forward. Up we go. And then let's do that again. If you want to hug yourself, that's an option, right? You can do that if you want to. That heart ball forward. And up we go. Very good. Okay, go ahead and just set the block aside. Go ahead and sit back in your chair. Hands are resting lightly on your thighs. Lift your palms up to the ceiling. Close your eyes and just breathe. Expand life's excellence. You seek to live with excellence, but the world does not cooperate. Live with excellence anyway. Excellence is always yours to choose, even when it's not widely supported or encouraged. In fact, when there is minimal respect for excellence is when excellence is needed most. Live with excellence not out of arrogance, but out of love. Live with excellence that is not dependent on outside support or courageous enough to exist on its own terms. The value of excellence is not based on who is looking or who is not. You know what is good, what is right, what is excellent and beautiful, and that's more than sufficient. Treasure excellence, savor it, learn from it, gain inspiration from it, emulate it, create it, share it. But don't get caught up in what anyone thinks of it or does with it. Take the strength and skill you have earned and expand on life's excellence. With excellence, make every day the best opportunity ever. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug as you press those elbows down towards the floor. Release it. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that opposite hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope to see you next time. Leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.